Hey guys, Grandmaster Thorn here with the Edge Martial Arts, and this month we're talking about fear. What is fear? What kind of fears are there? And today, to start off the conversation, we're just going to talk about two kinds of fears. We have rational fear and irrational fear. So, a rational fear would be something that is going to happen, something that would actually create some kind of pain, emotional, physical, right? So, a bully is a rational fear. If there's a bully standing there, the rational fear is that he's going to hurt you, right? So, that's a rational fear, something that makes sense. You should be afraid of that because you might have to defend yourself or protect yourself. A fire would be a rational fear because that's going to hurt you. You have to get away from you have to defend yourself, protect yourself, right? So those are very rational fears. You're on the way to work and you're late and you're afraid of being fired. Very rational fear. You have irrational fears, right? Maybe you're afraid that the clouds are going to fall on you. You're afraid of clouds because you're afraid they're going to fall down and squash you, right? That would be irrational. That's not going to happen. It's very unlikely that the irrational fears are ever going to come to play, or that they would even play out the way you have in your mind. So some people have more of a phobias of things that maybe are a little more irrational. So we want to start to figure out this month some of the fears that you might have, maybe in life, school. We're focused on the martial art aspect that you have in the classroom. So a rational fear might be maybe you're new to sparring and you're actually a little bit nervous that maybe someone's going to kick or punch you and you're going to get hurt. Right? Now, from an instructor standpoint, we understand that could be a rational fear. We also could look at it as an irrational fear, because if we're doing drills that day, is it very unlikely that someone's going to hurt you because it's a very controlled situation. Where if it's free sparring and you're sparring the black belts and you're going after them, that's a little more of a rational fear. They might fight back, right? So again, we have to start to kind of look at, are the fears that we're afraid of, just irrational or rational? So when you show up to class and you're afraid people are going to laugh at you, right? Okay, if that's something. So we want to start to figure out what those fears are. Then we want to start to figure out how we're going to deal with them. Now, my experience is that martial arts has taught me to really be afraid of very little, right? So anything that I feel is irrational, I'll just kind of blow off and get rid of. The realisticness of see a car coming at you and you're going to be in an accident, that's a rational fear, and you need to react to protect yourself. But what you'll start to do in the classroom, hopefully, if you've been with us for a while, or if you're going to be with us for a while going forward from today, is that you'll start to have to do things that maybe you're a little bit afraid to. You're going to have to get up and do a performance in front of other students and maybe instructors, right? And maybe you have a fear of performing in front of others. You're going to have to use your voice. We're going to hear you yell. We're going to hear you making noise or answering questions. Maybe you have a fear of standing out in front of people, right? You're going to have to do sparring someday. Maybe you have a fear of physical contact, and we'll get you over that. The nice thing is, eventually, once you start to face a ton of fears and then you figure out you're perfectly fine and you came out safe, you'll start to be braver about what you're going to go into. So it won't really bother you as much, or we'll start to maybe play down those fears a little bit to the point where we can either realize they're irrational, or if it is a rational fear, then we can start to think about, okay, what is the safest way for me to use my martial arts to get myself out of this situation, right? So that's something I want you to start to think about over the next 12 months of martial arts training. What are going to be some fears you're going to have to deal with? And I want you to try to figure out if they're rational, if it's something you need to keep an eye on, you need to watch out for, and you need to react to, or if it's something that's irrational, in which case we just have to figure out how to be brave and step up in the face of that fear and accomplish or even try the task, and then afterwards see that we made it through it. So this is what we're talking about this month, is fears. Hopefully this kind of gets the conversation started in your head. Feel free to use the worksheets. If you don't know how to find them, talk to your instructors, kind of take down some notes, and we'll be talking about it in class.